Hey, everybody, welcome to the VAU Mic Check. All right, we're continuing with kind of a theme this month. Once again, narration, this one being corporate. So, with that said, and knowing that we're continuing with the theme of narration, Michael has volunteered to go first.
Yes, I realized that last week we talked about our new tradition that we're doing where whoever went first last week gets to choose next, and that was supposed to be why did I already forget your name? Richard. I am an idiot. It's supposed to be Richard.
You're nervous and excited about going on your new venture here in a little bit.
But seeing as how I have to leave early, unfortunately, I will go first. Richard will be able to select who goes first next week. So we will continue it. Believe me, we will.
Yes.
Anyway, I do have a question before we start, though. Nathan, do you want us to read the little bit, like right at the very beginning, AE.11 administrative assistant?
That's actually the role you're playing. I left that in the way it is, but that's not anything you have to read.
Okay.
Yeah, so the AE1.11 is actually where you're at in the particular e-learning module you're on.
Oh, so that would be like an introduction.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Administrative assistant, we're talking about people at point of sale, cashiers.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so that safely gets ignored, right?
Yes, that safely gets ignored.
Okay.
Show us how it's done.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in your point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be, at all times, 1. Loyal to that company, 2. Completely honest, 3. Disciplined, and 4. Cordial.
Mm-hmm. One thing, I know it's very, very small, but in the fourth line, when it says personal accountability, and you said in your point of sale operations instead of our point of sale operations.
In our, okay.
I know it's small, but we always point those little
No,
things.
that's important. That's important. That does change the idea of the sentence. Okay. Anything else?
I just thought, if it could be a little friendlier. Personally,
okay.
It seemed a little dry. To me, it sounded like. How can I put it? Like you're talking to somebody explaining what they're supposed to be doing, but it's like they're making me tell you this, as opposed to be, I want to explain to you what you're supposed to be doing so that you do the best job possible, et cetera, et cetera. It's more like, okay, they're making me tell you this, so here it goes, blah 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 blah.
Okay,
It's a happy place to work.
Yeah, it just could be maybe just a little more friendly somehow, without being too salesy or too sing-songy.
Anybody else agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a go. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be, at all times, 1. Loyal to that company, 2. Completely honest, 3. Disciplined, and 4. Cordial. I don't know why I confused that.
A little nicer, a little more friendly. You missed the word always, when taking into account always the large number. You just said taking into account the large number of transactions.
Yeah, I think I moved a bit too quick on that one.
And that was the other thing I was going to say. I thought it seemed to me a little rushed. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but
It's that flash cup. Clearly.
that's what it is. It's the flash.
Yeah.
There we go. We found the crux of the matter.
All right, Kid Flash, slow it down.
Yeah, e-learning is slow, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was friendlier, but a little quick.
Okay, I'll slow it down. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in your point of sale operations. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be, at all times, 1. Loyal to that company. 2. Completely honest. 3. Disciplined. And 4. Cordial.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's anything wrong because when I was reading it ahead of time, I don't think there's anything wrong with throwing an "and" in between numbers 3 and 4. I think that sounds more natural doing that. Yeah. What do you think, Michael? Like, I mean, I know you did it, but what's your opinion on that?
Well, generally, the clients that I've worked with and have put out a list, they kind of expect that from you.
Okay.
Because it's definitely a more human touch. It sounds really awkward when you go through a list and you don't use "and" for the last point, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
It's kind of like, are you finished or aren't you? Is there more?
Yeah. I think I've had it a couple of times where that wasn't the case, though. And in those, you kind of have to just add the "and" in your mind. You sort of read it the same way like you would if you put an "and" beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And beforehand.
Well, I guess, too, what could always can be done is, I mean, if they don't like the word "and" for whatever silly reason, they can always just edit it out.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
Generally, though, I've always been asked to retake it.
Okay.
So I guess that's the amount of editing they want to do.
Okay, well, it's fine.
It's a funny thing about the way sometimes these things get done because, and I'm constantly hearing a spot I did where I started out with and I expected it to get lopped off, and the producer said, "I'm leaving it in." It's like, that wasn't even in the script, but he left it in anyway. So, yeah.
All right. Anything else on that read? Is there anything that you guys like to hear me do differently, or any other feedback? Anything?
I liked it. I mean, I thought it was nice and friendly sounding, and you're giving somebody instructions, and this is a serious thing. But by the same token, you're being friendly to what I would assume be a new employee to the company, and that without being like, "Hey, hello."
Yeah, it's not like that.
Exactly. I knew Nathan could do it better, so I was like,
I thought yours was pretty good, though, Frank.
That was good.
It's like Snoopy from Charlie Brown when he does it.
No, I thought that was a lot better. The first time around was like, okay, this is the 50th time I've had to tell a new employee, look, this is what the stuff is. From that to what you just did, I thought was nice and smooth. It was friendly, and we're glad to have you here.
Yeah.
But these are some of the things you're going to need to know.
Did away with the Squidward approach.
Well, that's a new one, channeling my inner Squidward.
Can you sound like Roger Bumpus? Yeah. We're not asking for that, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way I can sound like Squidward. There's no way.
Anyway. All right, moving on.
I bet Nathan can sound like Squidward.
Sort of.
For years, I did SpongeBob-type stuff to entertain my kids. But I remind people, this belongs to Tom Kenny.
I've actually never seen an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, so.
Oh man,
And neither have I.
I've watched them over and over and over
No,
again.
Uh,
Which I have.
I've heard of the name SpongeBob and Squidward, but I have no clue what they sound like, unfortunately.
Well, you know,
With no offense to anybody watching this who may be voicing those people.
for good reference, it's a good thing to watch when you're thinking of doing characters and stuff, because there's just a ton of good acting on there. I mean, everybody involved.
Yeah, I'll take a suggested playlist of stuff to watch because I had a large period of time where I watched nothing. So yeah.
I mean, having 3 kids enabled me to hear it a lot. Of course, I would have watched it even if I didn't have kids, because I'm a cartoon person. I just always have loved cartoons, animation.
Yep.
I don't know if I can get Netflix as a tax write-off, but it's for research, people.
Yeah. What I use it for?
Just claim it as a business expense. It should work.
Yeah, there we go. It's a business expense.
Operative wording in that phrase is should.
What is it? $10 a month or something like that? What's the worst that happens? They disallow it and you have to pay them an extra 25 cents.
I'm going to have to ask them at H&R Block when I go there and they do my taxes. Can I write off Netflix?
Don't ask, just
that
do.
Amazon Prime, because I use these things for voiceover.
Amazon Prime is a more logical, more easy sell because Amazon Prime also could be your
Hi, Sherry.
Yeah.
Hi.
True.
Because on Amazon Prime, you can buy other stuff and get it in 2 days. You can watch your shows and see if there's a good deal on foam and soap and
yeah.
And foam soap.
and pop filters too.
Foam soap, yeah.
pop filters.
There's a shock mounts, pop filters.
Yeah, shock mount.
Oh my gosh. I have, let's see, wait a minute.
Moving blankets. I mean, if you're going to go.
Portable mic stands.
Yeah.
Yay!
My wife got me this. Amazon
Ooh,
Prime.
what's that?
What's
What
that,
is
Golda? What's
what is
Golda?
that, Golda? Is that new foam? What is
That
that?
is foam. I got foam for making that thing back there, which I put over here because
Oh, it's like a like you made your own box.
I made my own box. So that's
Dude,
my studio over there.
Yeah, Harlan Hogan did his thing. I looked at that too. I'm like, I think I see a plastic thing at Target, and I could just stick foam in it now. Yeah.
But I'm hoping I can do something more. It seems like in the Chromebook it's quieter than with the fan here, and it may be enough that with foam in this room I can make a studio, even with the fans downstairs, which has been my bane.
Fans. Oh, Lord, fans.
There's a
You
restaurant
can-
downstairs. They have lots of exhaust fans. It's,
Oh wow. Okay. So it took me a while to figure out where to situate my personal studio. I use the term personal studio, so classy, but it took me a while. I had it in one room, in one little closet space, and I'm like, okay, this is good. And then one day I'm trying to do some auditions, and there's this boom, boom, boom. The kid playing basketball shooting hoops in our cul-de-sac was carrying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work at all. So I had 2 options. You can try to, do something where you elevate everything off the floor. Put some soundproofing in there, and that sounded like a lot of work, so I didn't do that, and I just I totally moved my space, and I've got a nice little space, and it's quiet, and it's good.
cool.
Sounds
Yeah,
really good.
and I got so lucky because when they built our house, they built the basement, and 3 of my walls are like 8 feet below ground level.
Nice.
I finally got this thing centered where you can't hear sounds off the highway.
Yeah, no,
Right.
three
That's
of
like
the
the
walls
only-
in my studio are 8 feet below ground level. So I mean, I get
Serious soundproofing.
Yeah.
well. It's
Well,
just like I
and
hear nothing. Like I've had work crews, city work crews, on the front street outside our house
Nice,
You
Frank.
don't hear a thing because you can't hear anything in here. That and the soundproofing is just, I just got lucky.
Yeah.
I wasn't
So-
playing.
That was another thing that took me a while to learn about too, the difference between sound isolation and good acoustics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think when you're first starting out, you confuse the two.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that too, once I figured that out, I'm like, oh, good.
Mhm.
It also depends on the kind of microphone that you have and its pickup pattern.
Yeah.
Right.
Most
Well,
common recording microphone is cardioid, so you want
Mhm.
most of your sound
Yeah.
dampening, at least, behind you and somewhat off to the sides as well.
Mhm.
Right. That's why
Yeah.
that Chaotica eyeball,
Yeah.
you know, that's so popular. And I saw somebody that made one just by taking a Nerf ball and they just
Yep.
carved out the middle and popped it on there. And I'm like, I wonder if that's good. But for my style mic, that's not going to
Yeah.
be a good thing.
No, of course not.
The
Yeah,
biggest
well,
thing
What you're mentioning, Sherry, takes me back to the 80s. We used to, all the announcers at the one of the stations I worked at, we all had our personal pop cushions, and that's what we did. We all went down to Walmart or someplace, and we bought a bunch of Nerf balls and just carved them up because this way nobody had to worry about getting colds and flus off other people and all that. Everybody would come in, they would just take off someone's Nerf ball, put it in their locker, and put their own Nerf ball on. It was brilliant.
Oh, that's great.
Good idea. Oh, hey, you guys are all talking about foam. I buy mine direct from the factory. It's foam by mail, and they have almost identical sound stuff, just like what's that, Auralux?
Do they
Yeah.
do they have actual acoustic foam?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
they do.
yes, they do.
Oh,
Just
and
Google
it's
it,
about
sir.
a third of the
Can
cost.
you,
I can get it.
Frank, or not Frank, Richard, can you please put that in the chat?
I will do that. Yeah, it's
That is
been.
Thank you.
It is an awesome. Put it this way, I'm about ready to, so I can get rid of a little bit more of my moving blankets here. I can get two 72-inch by 4 feet. I can get two big pieces like that for less than $100.
Whoa.
And it's
I
and
did.
it's
I did.
fireproof.
Yeah, like I said, my studio is 8x8. I got three walls, 3.5 walls done, and it cost me about $140 US for all the foam.
Oh.
And that's
Right.
that's the same size squares that you've got, Sherry. There, the 12x12s, the
These?
1x1. Yeah.
Okay,
Isn't
I
that
have
too
to
much?
tell you, my husband works in IT, and this is just stuff that somebody sent hardware in.
That works.
It's not acoustic, and I read a little bit about the acoustic, and my understanding is that this stuff will break down over time faster
Yeah.
than
Oh,
actual
okay.
acoustic foam. There is a reason why the acoustic foam, like Orlex, is more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I found a place online in Michigan that manufactures and distributes. And like I said, I got enough to do my entire studio, and I've still got probably about a box and a half left over. It cost me $140 with shipping.
Nice.
Nice.
It might be the same
This
place.
here-
right?
Ooh, are we going to do show and tell? So this is the actual. This is producer's choice curtain, and I
Yay.
did a little research. The reason why I went ahead and spent money on producer's choice curtains and went ahead and waited a little bit is because this is actually heavier than moving blankets.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
If I had done moving blankets, I did the math, I'd have to double them. And by the time I was getting double moving blankets, I'm like, I'll just do that. Plus they had the light color, because I don't like everything being black and gray.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have some wool blankets that I hang on those folding Asian, I don't know.
Oh,
what
like
it-
the screens?
the screens, yes.
Mhm. Like a screen or a room divider kind of thing?
Room divider kind of thing, yes.
Yes.
And so I throw some wool blankets on that. It's like, we sort of got something.
I started with clothing racks
We're
and
using the
moving
closet, but that's where the fans are the noisiest. So
Oh man.
opening
Ah.
restaurant. So that's what I've been trying to fight through.
I understand that. I really do. I mean,
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome. My keyboard inside my booth, I have to put new batteries in it. All of a sudden, I'm going, why is this not? Oh, you son of a! I had to go get the other one out at my desk.
Beep.
I was about to use my tablet as my keyboard tonight. It was.
Now, Goldie, have you experimented at all with raising your stuff off the floor?
I haven't because it sounded really complicated, and the closet is not square, so I'd have to get creative in constructing.
Okay. I mean, just like maybe you and then your microphone stand. I don't know that
Yeah,
how
maybe
much it would take. I don't know that you have to do the entire closet.
Yeah.
Like it is. So that's another thing. Like, you could do the little hearts. And I love the voiceover community. So many people are like, here's the cost-effective way to do it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, even people who are making serious bank, they're like, you don't need to spend money on that. Just do this.
Yeah.
Oh man, I started with clothing racks with moving blankets draped over them. Of course, I kind of got blessed because my boss down at the TV station, he found out I was getting into voiceover, and he's like, "You need foam? Here, we got lots of leftover foam. Take as much as you." He was stuffing it in my car.
That's great.
Thank you. So, I started out with moving blankets draped over clothing racks, and got the clothing rack idea actually again from the TV station because I was standing next to the green room, and we got this clothing rack where clients come in and they'll hang their coats and whatever on it, and I'm looking at that, I was like, why do I need to go out and spend lots and lots of money? I'll just get a couple of those and just build a frame out of it. And that's what I started with. Of course, I had to expand a little bit, and you guys heard me talking with Kevin about the height issue.
Short little old May.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you were really, when you said height issue, if you were really tall or.
I'm 5'8", and so
that tall.
I built my booth to be just a little bit over my headspace, and the thing of it is, and my wife was like, somebody is going to be taller than you, and they're going to come here to record, and when they do, it actually happened. That woman was so right. So I'm like, okay, I'm rebuilding. I'm just redoing everything, So now it's a huge PVC cube that takes up most of the room. I just basically added on another room, and this is it. This is where I'm at. All right. But it centered up my microphone. It buffered out any of the excess noise. My wife had the TV going one night while we were doing the mic check, and she had it turned up just a little bit. Nobody could hear it. The microphone did not pick it up. I was like, man, this is working so well.
Don't you love it when a plan comes together?
Yes.
Should we get back to it?
Yes, we should get back to the coffee. But this is
what are we doing?
We are doing e-learning.
Where am I?
We are back on. We are back on narration. But anyway,
no, I just pulled up this.
And the purpose of this group again is
everything voiceover.
To discuss everything voiceover while having some fun and practicing scripts.
Absolutely. Yes. So we are actually doing what the mic check does best.
Honestly, the whole purpose of the mic check, like I said last week, is for everybody to be able to take something back with them that they can use in their own career, or wherever they're at.
Yeah. Okay, so, I'm taking your mic back with me then. Okay. if you could just wrap it up and send it over, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Well, I've got a couple extra if you want me to send those over. I'm not doing anything.
Do that too. Sure, I'll take them all. Whatever.
Yeah,
whatever I don't use, I'll sell on eBay.
Give me that, sure.
I am on my third interface that makes me happy.
Aww.
And my two interfaces that didn't make me happy, I've given them to my teenage son and then his friends. They're both musicians.
Aww.
His friend plays drums. So he was taking it over today. I'm like, yeah, you take it over to his house. You don't need to be doing that here.
But why don't we go ahead and get back to it?
Yes.
So whoever wants to go next, go next. Unfortunately, I do have to go now.
So I will. Sorry for keeping you.
We'll see you next week, Michael.
Enjoy your time.
Have fun.
I will.
Have fun with Nancy.
Have fun.
Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Brain
Google.
Track Studio.
Okay, so who's read and who hasn't read?
Okay,
Michael.
Michael actually is
That's it.
The only person
You
who
spent the rest of the time talking about studios.
Guys,
we were talking about
coming in.
booths and
I came in so late. I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed half of the mic check readings probably.
you came in right as we segued into talking about our booth builds, and
That's right.
That's beautiful.
we have discussed Linux operating systems, and we have discussed builds.
Everything but.
But hey, it's
Well,
all wrapped around
Richard
the-
was the guy who's supposed to choose. So, I mean, Michael had to go first because of the fact he has to go for a coaching session. But we might as well get back to Richard and let Richard choose who goes first now.
Oh,
Well,
did
you
Michael
know-
say who he coaches with?
He's going for a session with Nancy Wilson.
Oh, with Nancy Wilson. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, let's see. I've had a whole week to think about this, and we had somebody that we couldn't do any criticism on his read last week because it was just more perfect than it needed to be. So, Frank, you get to go. How's that?
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Alrighty then. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company, 2. Completely honest, 3. Disciplined, and 4. Cordial.
That was nicely read too.
Yeah.
I love the and 4. You cut it down enough to where it wouldn't like take up too much of the time that particular segment was allotted.
Okay. What did I do wrong?
I didn't really catch anything. Did anyone catch anything?
I didn't catch anything.
It was, I thought the pacing and all that was good. It was just a bit on the matter-of-fact side. Not
So
that it
li-
was not friendly, but it was just kind of, well, here's what we got.
Okay.
I think just when you went in the middle, one mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. And then the sentence after that, you went to little radio-y.
Okay.
Announcery.
Okay. Did I didn't really notice it, but did I punch the and or anything like that?
It
heard
wasn't
it.
punching. It was more kind of the way you said one mistake could cause both anger. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It was kind of like it. I'm thinking that should be like a little, this could be a problem if you do this.
Oh, okay.
So, and then you would come back and just not super exaggerated, but let's be,
Yeah.
this is some serious stuff. Okay. So
Yeah.
and then kind of like, it's your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency. This is a big deal that you're taking on.
All right.
One thing I noticed too, Sherry, is that there hasn't been enough gravity in that one sentence. It needs to kind of be separated out from the rest of the dialogue, and you'd kind of reinforce that this could be a bad thing.
Okay. All right. Well, let me try it again. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to the company, 2. Completely honest, 3. Disciplined, and 4. Cordial.
I thought that was friendlier. I like
That was
personally,
friendly.
I like that better.
Yeah.
I did catch a changed word.
Oh, which one?
1, loyal to that company. You changed that to the company.
Oh, loyal to the company instead of that. Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be that company because you're talking. They're referring back to whatever company you happen to be dealing with, but not the company you're working for.
No, you're absolutely right. Changes the complete meaning of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to nitpick that one sentence again, Frank, because you went, one mistake, and then you paused. One mistake could both anger, and I'm exaggerating. One mistake could both anger our customer. And then you go, could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. And I think it should be, one mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. Like, crap. You do not want that to happen.
Okay. I hear you.
The way she said that at first, I'm thinking, oh man, he Shatnered it, and I didn't catch it.
There was enough exactly. To take a nap.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company.
One mistake.
He signed. William Shatner signed a record deal today.
Wow.
With Heartland Records in Nashville, he's going to be doing a country album. If you can.
No, thank you.
Oh my.
Okay.
God.
Personally, I think he's just trying to cling on to his career.
Oh. Frank, just redo this.
He's doing a country album
without a pause.
Did.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
That's right. I went down. Flames, they went higher.
Mr. Shatner, could you sing that a little bit higher up? Change an octave there. No,
sure, just
I'm
raise
going to do it my way. Do you want to tell me how to do my job? Oh, wait, getting into the Shatner meltdown.
All right, I'll run through it one more time here. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely dishonest.
I think you might have changed the meaning.
Completely dishonest.
I want to work for this company.
3, completely undisciplined. And 4, just mad as hell.
Oh my God.
Where do I apply?
Okay, let's take it from this said.
Okay. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Oh, very nice.
You buttoned that up very nicely. That was great. Yay.
Even if I'm telling someone to be completely dishonest.
Be completely dishonest.
Our cashiers are expected to be at all times completely dishonest.
Former politicians and lawyers need to apply.
Just shortchange them all.
Frank, am I the only one? Boy, am I clipping. Slow down. Is that better?
Yeah,
am I the only one that sees the disconnect from saying our cashiers need to be loyal to that company?
Well, I think somehow it's
I agree with John. It would seem to make more sense to see loyal to our company or loyal
company.
To company.
The only explanation I can think of is somehow it's like an employment agency.
Yeah, the only reason, and I agree with John, is because if you look at the first sentence, it says your job plays a key role in the success of our company.
Our company.
Yeah. So all the way through, it's our,
mm-hmm.
and then you get down to there. And
one mistake could both. But so if we go down to loyal to that company, what I'm understanding is where it says one mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. I'm working for a company that contracts with contracts with businesses for cashiers.
Okay. Yeah, I can.
So I'm thinking this is for like a temp agency.
All right. So if you're a
No,
placement
there's
agency,
new
it
business
makes
accounts,
sense.
money
Okay,
makes
I get
sense.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Or-
Yeah,
or-
without knowing who the client is on this, that makes
Yeah.
perfect
Right.
sense. Mary. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
I was
see,
looking
this
The
is
at
other,
like the
being a-
11th segment in this whole in the whole module. So the other parts of it are talking about, what you're doing for other companies. So
Okay.
yeah, I was just wondering if maybe they were just genericizing the company. Should be loyal to insert company name here. And since they're anonymizing it, they're calling it that company. instead.
Right.
Hmm.
Or maybe the company's called that company.
No, it would be capitalized.
Oh, okay.
Good one.
Welcome
that
to
company over there.
Plus, that would be a stupid name for a company.
Where you going? That company.
That company.
That company.
Okay.
Sounds like a jean
Okay.
store.
I
in
think
the mall.
there actually is a
Did
game.
Did we tell you did a nice job though, Frank? Did we
Yeah.
tell you that? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
All right.
Very smooth.
Next.
There actually is a company called That Game Company.
Is there?
Yes, there
That
is.
Game Company.
Oh, they have some awesome games. Oh,
Oh.
love Journey. Journey is
What do you-
Oh yeah, Journey.
Hey, I'm dating myself here, and I'm going to ask Richard. Do you remember that girl?
Oh heavens, yes. Marlo Thomas? No, I don't
Yes.
know anything about which you talk.
That was a TV show.
Wow,
That was a
you
TV
guys.
show in the '60s.
Wow.
You realize
Okay.
you keep carbon dating us, don't you?
Yeah,
Carbon
I know.
dating.
As if the white hair didn't already do that.
You know what I'm throwing at you guys now?
Oh.
Ritalin. Take it.
All right, that's good for my ADD.
Not
Good for
Who's
my ADD.
next?
Thank you.
Who's next?
The who's next?
I'm gonna say Golda is next,
Yes, she is.
and then Golda gets to say who goes after her.
Oh, there
Oh,
we go.
that's very
Good.
nice.
That'll move us along.
All right. Let me find out where I threw my little marked thing. There it is. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause monetary loss. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a lot monetary. I read this before, really, honestly.
Slow down. Slow down.
Okay, let me take it from the top again.
Okay.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause monetary loss to the company. It's your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times loyal to the company, completely honest, disciplined, and cordial.
Okay. I'd like to hear a little more energy.
Okay, sounds good.
Little more energy and a little more smile. And then you also said loyal to the company instead of that.
Oh,
And also, too, I think so far. I mean, I don't know if it makes a difference, but you said it's instead of it is your.
it is. I know.
Yeah. That may
Which-
I don't
I
that
don't know
may
if
or may
that's-
not be a big
Yeah.
deal.
But I think they probably want to hear the one, loyal to that company. Two, you didn't say the numbers.
Oh, did I not say the numbers?
No,
Oh,
you,
sorry.
just, you just went loyal to, completely, et cetera, et cetera. So
Oh,
Yeah. This is like one of those videos that you watch when you're
yeah.
freshly new hired and you're in there and, everything feels good. And then they make you nervous with, hey, guess what? You could screw up and it can really mess our whole company up.
Oh.
Responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given.
I could picture at that point, because they're having the numbers like that, slides changing or the video
Right.
input
Or they
changing.
have the little effect where it goes.
You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
Okay. Let me get those numbers in. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a higher level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company, 2. Completely honest, 3. Disciplined, and 4. Cordial.
Good. That had more energy in
Very
it.
good.
I liked that.
A little bit of a
More
long
friendly.
pause
Yep.
between and 4, but
Yeah. It's like, oh wait, there's a number.
and
Yep.
4.
Eh.
Do you want me to read the last little bit again? The whole
No,
thing
that's
again?
good. I mean,
Okay.
Here, why don't you do the safety read?
The safety
there
read.
you
Okay.
go. Yeah, safety read.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to the company, 2. Completely honest, 3. Disciplined, and 4. Cordial.
I think I like the energy in your second read.
Okay.
You had
Yeah.
more accuracy in this last one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she felt more comfortable in her read, relaxed in it. It did
You know-
replace the word that with the.
Mhm.
I keep on doing that, don't I?
I think you counting on your fingers.
Yeah?
really helped.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah,
helped.
that's very good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Who's next, Golda?
Oh, who's next? John.
All right.
Yay.
Why yay? Because it's not you? Because it's not you. All right. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company, 2. Completely honest, 3. Disciplined, and 4. Cordial.
I really liked your list. I liked a lot of what you did, but I really liked your list. The way you went, completely honest. Like it's just you're really emphasizing it without punching it or doing anything like that.
Mhm.
I liked your list. You also missed an someplace in there. One mistake. Oh, and you should. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause monetary loss. You just
A
really
monetary
small,
loss.
little, tiny nitpicky thing, but you didn't say
Cost
monetary loss.
monetary loss.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but other than that,
Okay.
Other than that, it sounded like he had picked up this piece of copy when I posted it.
I
2
did.
hours before the mic check started.
Not 2 hours, but
Yeah.
I read it a couple of times.
Because I
before
posted it around 5 o'clock. I'm like, oh yeah, here's the copy, and then I started getting stuff ready. So,
yeah, no, it's obvious you weren't just sight reading it, which would make a client happy if you went into a studio.
Yeah, I like how smooth you were. I would like to hear a little more friendly, a little more change in emotion
Okay.
and expression in the copy. I think you can be a little friendlier when let me look. I just changed screens.
Maybe
When
a
you
little friendlier in the first sentence.
right.
Mhm.
Right. Because I was curious, you sounded really serious throughout the whole thing.
Mhm.
And so I watched your expression and it's probably because you're concentrating. You seemed very serious like this. You looked like this the whole time. as you were reading. And I think you want to be friendly and actually give some smile at first.
All right.
And then I think you do have to be serious when you say, one mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
This-
exactly
this
what
is
I was going to
serious.
say.
Yeah.
It came, I thought the read was very smooth. All that was great, but boy, it was uber serious. I was like, I don't know if I want to touch this company's money or not.
Yeah, it was almost like it almost came across like I was being lectured by my dad
Your drawer better be
Or-
right.
or by the school principal or something, and it was a little scary for me. So you have that tone to your voice where
A little too authoritative.
yeah, well, it's, I wouldn't say too. I mean, that's your sound. So you want to be aware of that. You wouldn't have to work on it, right? If you have to go for an authoritative or bossy read, you've already got that in the bag. So then you want to concentrate on, I want to lighten things up so I don't scare you, little cashiers.
Yeah. But me, I have to work on the authoritative because I sound so darn friendly.
Considering the labor pool that we have to work with. That's a
Right,
very
I understand.
suggestion. All right.
So think of who you're talking to. I'm thinking this may be a young person
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty new in the workforce.
Sure.
So
Entry level, no doubt.
yeah, I think we're talking to an entry level person. So we want to be kind to them. They may be a little nervous.
Okay. I'll try to dial that back a little bit where it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard that currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times loyal to the company, completely honest, disciplined, and cordial. I didn't read the numbers.
No, you didn't.
Man.
I'd read it from this said on down through, read the numbers. You had a really good pacing and you still had authoritative, but you had layered in, a little bit more of a friendly tone. So.
Gotcha.
It's a little friendlier. And
Smiling does help.
yeah. If you actually and one thing that I learned when you're practicing is if it will feel really exaggerated and ridiculous to you when you're smiling or when you're frowning, but it comes across just right.
No, see, that's a good point.
You can hear a smile. If
Yeah.
you can't even see the person, you can hear the smile.
And perhaps you do need to exaggerate it a little bit in the booth for it to come across. I get that.
Right.
Oh, I've seen some guys when they're recording, they're like this when they're talking. Like they're really, really like this. And sometimes it kind of sounds stupid, but there's a lot of times where you can tell that they're smiling as opposed to when they're just talking like normal or whatever. The one other thing, and this is like really tiny nitpicky or whatever, but a lot of your sentences at the end when you started becoming friendlier, every sentence ends on an up note.
Yeah.
Every sentence ends on an up note, and that's not natural. You can vary it, and it's hard to do when you're reading to try and remember to do so, John. But there's nothing wrong with, like, you can end one sentence on an up note, but if you do that mentally, you have to think to yourself to end the next one sort of on a down note, or else it starts to be everything is like success of our company, sale operations to the company. It's all up.
So.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly, you have been in the construction industry, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have.
So instead of having to have a discussion with a big burly guy, okay, say you are talking to somebody my size. I'm 5 feet tall. Okay. And I mean, you're not going to tower over me and at me. Okay. You're going to be like, hey, because this is how people talk to me. People talk to me like I'm their child sometimes. And
I know that.
and not that you would talk down to me or like I'm a child, but you are going to be more gentle, I think, as opposed to if you're talking to somebody Frank's size.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So,
Yeah,
so actually picture in your mind talking to that little 20-something girl who's going to start being a cashier.
we don't want to scare her away.
Right. You want her to understand it's serious, but yeah, you don't want to make her cry. Right?
All right.
Unless you're really having a bad day, and you do.
And you do, unless she just really got on your nerves.
John, I'm so nervous. Don't make me cry, please.
Yes.
All right. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause monetary loss to the company. It's your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, number one, loyal to that company, number two, completely honest, number three, disciplined, and number four, cordial.
Yeah, I like that better. There was a little bit of upspeak, but not as much.
Yeah.
So it was more natural.
And definitely not scary.
Well, you think about this, John, okay? You don't talk to your wife the way you talk to your coworkers.
No.
I've been in the construction business, so I know how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Not if you want to live.
I've dealt with the big burly and the all the surly guys that are out there because I did road construction. Boy, that's a rough.
There you go. That's some brother guys there. Yeah.
So you deal with these guys one way, but then when you come home, it's a completely different thing. And there's a tone adjustment in how you converse. With your wife, your kids, people in the general public versus, the creatures that work in construction. No insult intended to construction.
We're not all creatures, Nathan.
No, we're not. I mean, I was in construction for several years. My dad was a contractor, so hey, I do understand the construction business big time. So, not that I ever wanted to. I wasn't wired for it myself, but it's that tone change going between who you're dealing with.
No, it's true. You experience a variety of people in the industry, and you do need to temper your words and your attitude depending on who you deal with, for sure.
Geez, it's that way in the broadcast industry.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 radio people in here that know exactly what I'm talking about, because you deal with all kinds of people who call up saying my soap opera's messed up. We don't run your soap opera. Well, fix it, but we don't run your soap opera. You've got what? This ain't no, you got the wrong call letters.
Yeah.
True
Do
conversation.
you want to try it again?
Sure.
John,
We're not running out of time. We want to be fair to everybody else, but
yeah, I think you should run through it one more time and work on being a more casual and conversational.
Okay.
You've really incorporated the friendliness. So you've done a great job with that. And so a little more casual and conversational. And Rodney Salisbury's book, Vocal Tongue Twisters and something, I don't remember the whole title, but I use it all the time. And he actually has a chapter on the conversational read. And what he did is he said, you're going to go flat or down. And he actually draws arrows. He's like, so go middle, down here, middle, down. And it's different. And maybe marking up your script or at least visualizing Imagining that could help you with that upspeak that you're doing. Because in trying to lighten your voice and lighten your tone, you're going, and that's what gives you that little sing-song tone. But it was better. You didn't do it as much this last time.
Okay.
So I think you can nail it this time.
I sure hope so. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in the point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you'll make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company. 2. Completely honest. 3. Disciplined. And 4. Cordial.
Nice.
Very
I like
nice.
the way he
You're
reads them.
hired.
Very, very nice.
All right, thank you.
Couple of few little word things that you kind of changed up a bit or whatever, but those are just minor little things. I mean, as far as actually getting the read down, getting the inflection right, the friendly aspect of it and everything like that, check all the boxes.
I don't think I got the copy right one time.
Here's the thing, though. You have the tone for this sort of thing,
Mhm.
and you just have to learn to work that instrument into that tone, and you can make it happen.
All right.
Yeah. And I think it's helpful to know your natural voice and then understand how to vary that. So you understand, naturally I usually sound authoritative, or naturally I usually sound happy, or whatever. We all have those different sounds, and that's what makes us unique, and we can play to that strength. We just need to know how to vary it and work with it, with what we've got. Yeah. And so there's no, oh, you're too authoritative, that's who you are.
Yeah.
You just learn how to work with it.
Hey, I've naturally sounded like a 12-year-old my whole life.
But in authority,
You think
12-year-old.
Think like a 12-year-old too.
Yeah.
Don't
You
you?
are
I do, and I love every minute of it.
I'm going to live in Nathan's head for one day.
Oh gosh.
Actually, Nathan was born on February 29th, so he is 12 years old.
Actually, I was born on February 27th. I missed the leap year thing, or I would be 12.
Dang it.
I had to get out and see the world. So
Your birthday next Tuesday.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa.
Next week on the voice check, we'll have to
I'm
sing you happy
48.
birthday.
We'll do something nice. Well, I appreciate everybody's feedback. Maybe we could hear from Sherry next.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company. 2. Completely honest. 3. Disciplined. 4. Cordial.
Okay, who's going next, Sherry?
Yay!
Yeah, that was
All right.
Sherry's
You're not getting off that easy.
Of all the directions she was giving,
Yeah.
she's like, okay, I'm taking this exactly the way I was dishing it out. This is what I'm doing with this. And
In all fairness, I
friendly
coached with
and-
Rodney Salisbury, and I just coached with him today.
Ah.
I just had a session today. So,
The only thing I would say is when you got into that line there where it says involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability, like you really hit accountability hard.
okay.
I just maybe, that's there like that. But other than that, it was really, really nice.
Yeah, it was just,
But I just thought you kind of hit that. You almost popped. You almost popped your
Okay.
P on personal and also on the B in ability. It was like personal accountability. Like you really hit it.
Okay.
So
Great job varying up the list, giving it different feel for each of the points on there. The only thing I noticed that stuck out to me, it is your responsibility to completely, as if you were, I don't know, it sounded like you were almost like arguing the point back, and you really punched
Okay.
it. It is.
you know what?
your
Now that you mention it, you're right. I was trying to think what it was, and that's it. Because
Okay.
the way you said it is,
So I was.
it is your responsibility. Almost like someone says, "Well, it's not my problem." It is your
Okay.
responsibility.
Okay, that was something I was trying to be a little different, and you're saying that doesn't work right here. So that's good.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we're supposed to do is try things out,
Yeah.
see if they work or not. Okay.
I mean, I know what they say about punching pronouns and all that stuff, but I think in this case,
Sure.
you might be able to put a little more emphasis on your, even
Uh-huh.
though we're not
Your-
supposed to
It
normally,
is
but
your
just
responsibility.
yeah, a touch,
Yeah.
just emphasizing the fact, like it's up to you there, Missy or Mister or whatever the case may be.
And I think
Yeah.
this can be done in a way where it's like a little pep talk. Like, don't think just because you know a cashier doesn't sound like a very prestigious position, but actually you're very important.
Yeah, and don't think
Yeah.
because you knew we were going to cut you any slack.
Yeah, don't mess up.
We're making your job be as important as it really is.
Okay, should I try one more time then?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company. 2. Completely honest. 3. Disciplined. 4. Cordial.
Boom.
Okay.
Nailed it.
I got
Absolutely.
nothing for that.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
And you know what? It's you're talking about, and John, this goes back to what we were talking to you about, how you don't even have to see the person to know, but I'm listening to the copy, and every now and then I glance over at Sherry, and it's like that part in there is one mistake, you could hear the furrowed brow, and I looked over at Sherry, and all of a sudden she's like this, like, you blah 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 blah, and then when you're going through the other parts of it, you could hear the smile, and I look over, and she's smiling. So it's you. It was really nice, Sherry.
Thank you. And I found that using physicality and expressions helps me to make those emotional switches
Mm-hmm.
faster.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel it affects your timing?
How do I feel it affects my timing
Yeah.
as far as what
Your
changing it?
physicality. No, your physicality.
I think
Hmm.
it makes
That's a good
your
question. I don't know.
timing more natural because I mean most people don't talk just sitting like this with their hands together and their arms at their side. Really, most people talk and their hands are moving. I'm like not exaggerated like this, but most people talk. Their hands are moving and they're talking and all that. That's
Yeah.
how people talk.
I wasn't trying to set a trap or anything. I
I think it's a good question. I did, and I'm going, I don't know, because I don't know. I never thought about it. Now I'm trying to think about it, and I can't say I'm sure. It's just something that I learned to do, and it seems to come out in the copy and work well.
But
I think it definitely helps.
It also adds
Yeah.
a natural element to your read. You know, when you're moving around a little bit, you're talking, whether you're moving your head, as long as you sort of remain on mic. But when you're moving your hands around a bit and all that, I mean, again, going back to like when you were Sherry or when I am on air, we don't sit there with our hands just folded in front of us, staring into the microphone and talking. We're moving around, we're talking, we're moving, et cetera, and you sound natural. And it's the same thing when you're doing the copy. It gives you a more natural element because you're just more at ease when you have that physicality going. So I think it's a good thing to do and to get used to doing as a voice artist.
But what I'm hearing is it's something you may not even be aware of that you're doing. It just happens naturally, and it meshes well with your your read and your time?
No, actually, just the opposite. It's something I'm doing deliberately.
Okay.
When I am breaking down a script, I'm like, okay, I will want to smile here. When I was talking about, I think it needs to be more serious. You know, the line, one mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. I'm planning on actually frowning.
Okay.
So it's not something that just happens. It's actually very deliberate.
Yeah,
It
I was
is
given
the very
similar
reason
direction.
why we are voice actors.
Actors, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been to a number of voice over panels, and a number of the actors talk about how, you know, they need to stand in a certain way, or even there was one character, you know, where they needed to wear a certain, you know, shoes or something to give them the right feel for the character, because to convey the feeling, I mean, obviously we're not doing characters here, we're doing narration, but in a similar way.
I disagree,
How we
Goldie. You're actually doing a character.
Okay, I guess you are doing a character, but not
It's
as
just not like
you're not
Popeye
gonna
or
be doing
SpongeBob
shoes
character.
or you know, but I guess it could be you could be, you know, playing a superhero reading this to somebody, I suppose. But anyway, so it might not be something as extreme as wearing appropriate, you know, some, you know, key piece of outfit that makes you think of it. But
whatever, if
they need to stand, they need to act, and they're doing this, or they need to stand for this character and they sit for this other character. How you move your body affects how you communicate in real life, and so it affects how you communicate in acting life too.
Well, and it goes back to what Nathan said about the fact that we are voice actors. I mean, if you watch a play, you watch a movie, you watch anything like that, the actors don't stand in the middle of the stage, just start, you know, straight with their hands at their side and read their lines, no matter how well they read them. I mean, let's face it.
That is the question.
Exactly. They move around and they're very natural in their actions. And I think the same thing is important to do when you're reading a script. It just comes across as more natural sounding when you just act naturally. Unless naturally you're the type of person that doesn't move a lot and just, you know, stands perfectly still. But there's very few people out there that are like that.
Well, I've been
That's
talking.
not me.
I don't know anybody like that.
My mother
that moves around when they talk.
That doesn't move around when they talk.
Well, no, exactly.
I mean, yeah,
exactly.
everybody.
That's what I'm saying. There's probably some people
the
out
most
there.
introverted person will still be expressive when they are sharing something. And another thing to think about too, as far as getting into character. So when you approach even a narration piece, there is some character acting to think about. Who are you when you are doing the script? You're a professional trainer. Okay, you're some kind of business manager or professional trainer. So what would you wear? You know, maybe a polo, maybe you wear a blazer, depending on the company. I don't know. Or picture yourself that way. And another thing that's helpful too is to draw on people that you know. I mean, it's one thing to have characters on TV and actors in movies, but also drawing on real life people that you know. So you may have worked for, think back to when you got your first job, who showed you how to do whatever it is you were doing? And how did they interact with you? Maybe you have a neighbor. I have one of my favorites is I have a dear friend from church, and she's a Puerto Rican lady who grew up in Brooklyn. And she's like, Shari, can you pick up the boys from school for me? I'm running a little late. So if I want to be sassy, then I think of my friend Sylvia.
Yeah. And then there's also the who you're speaking to. Like in this one, I imagined I was speaking one-on-one with somebody, because this is a personal training. It's not, hey, all you cashiers sitting here. I didn't think of it was a crowd, but more it was a one-on-one. So you're talking to someone as opposed to.
Yeah, and you could pick that up from the copy because it is your personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in front of a larger crowd, it might be a different sort of a read.
Much different read.
So, and you know what? I haven't heard from Philip for so long. I would love for him to do this.
Oh no. Okay.
Philip's been taking some coaching too.
I know he's been with Angel, right?
Yes, he has.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Excellent.
All right. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company. 2. Completely honest. 3. Disciplined. 4. Cordial.
Very good. So you would say cordial.
Cordial.
Yeah.
Cordial instead of cordial. But I am super impressed with you.
That was smooth.
Wasn't
was
that
very
great?
smooth.
If there's only one thing I would say is maybe try enunciating a little less.
Yeah, that's the thing I picked up
exactly what I
on
was
too,
gonna say.
Frank. Seemed a little over enunciated. Not quite.
With instead of saying responsibility, say responsibility.
Responsibility. All right.
Yeah.
See, and yeah, just to soften your T's. That's where
Oh,
we
yeah.
heard you over enunciating is when you said responsibility. I
Yeah.
think you said it
Responsibility.
twice, yeah.
Complete.
Yeah.
So say it with us now. Say responsibility.
Responsibility.
There you
There
go.
you go.
That sounds
Perfect.
Just
And then it's-
basically sloppy it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't over articulate.
Yeah, just
It was-
just on that one word, but I'm super impressed with you, Philip, because usually when you approach a piece of copy, you're just such a high energy dude and you're so fun. And so you're kind of bouncing like the Energizer bunny
I
going.
wasn't sure who was reading there for a minute.
Yeah, usually and so I was really interested to hear you take this on. I'm like, is he going to start off really fast again? And you
course he is.
didn't. Your pacing was perfect on this.
Mhm.
For me, it
Nice
was a bit of a snail's
job.
pace, but thanks.
Nice job.
It was really good. Can you please run through it again with the softer T's and
All right.
cordial?
Cordial. Yes. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in the point of us. Okay.
Go ahead and start at the top again. Responsibility.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company. 2. Completely honest. 3. Disciplined. And 4. Cordial.
Nice.
Good. That was
Nicely
much
done.
better.
Yeah.
So run through it one more time, please.
Right now, before you even think about it, just go.
Just do it.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you'll make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company. 2. Completely honest. 3. Disciplined. And 4. Cordial.
Nice.
That was great, Philip.
Fantastic.
All right.
That's a money read right there, my friend.
There we go.
Thank you,
It
Wayne.
was
Thank you,
friendly. It
everyone.
was well done. Very well paced.
Philip has been doing his homework.
Oh yeah.
You can tell. You can tell that you've
Yes.
been working, Philip. You can tell that you've had some professional guidance and that you've been applying what you were learning. Good job, Angel, and good job, you.
Thank you, everyone.
And
Yes.
Golf clap.
Let's see. Who hasn't gone yet?
Richard.
Yes. All right, Mr. Richard, please.
Oh, me. Oh, okay. You
Yes.
asked who hadn't gone yet. I just went, well, I think it's only me and Nathan left. If I
Yeah,
remember
that's right.
All right. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Hey.
Do it again really quick. Do it again right now. Slow it down
Alright.
just a touch.
Okay.
You're going a little fast, and give yourself a little bit of a
Yeah.
break as well. At all times, you went to be at all times 1, loyal to the company. It's almost like 1 is thrown away. Slow down.
Yes.
Got it.
Take a full breath after each period, like company.
All right.
After each
Good
point, you want that point to sit.
Okay. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Okay. It's still a little rushed. Just take it from this said,
Yeah.
please.
From the end?
Correct.
This
said,
said.
okay.
From the end. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, honor the colon, and then go into
I kind of went
the
from
bullet
that straight
points.
into the bullet points.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Nice. Much better.
Well done.
Yeah. It was a little long when you went 1, but that would just be something that you tighten up.
It actually sounded like something I heard when I was like in high school or something.
1, and there's more of these, so listen, starting with the number.
Everybody,
Pay attention.
everybody,
But-
remember
But
that.
your timing was really good on that last time around, Richard.
Yes. Yes.
Don't
I'm
make
being
me start
just way
counting,
over-
Richard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't make
Yeah.
me start counting, Richard.
Make
One,
me go over what I told you before, young man.
2,
Oh, I'm being
Richard, I
overly
want you
conscious
to
of the...
Two.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right. I think Nathan is the only one we have left, unless you want me to
Yes.
do it again, or I felt pretty good about that.
I think you should feel good.
Yeah.
We feel good about it.
That felt great.
Yay!
Another golf clap for
Yes.
myself.
Yes. Me, myself, and all of me is next.
Yay.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
So Nathan, you're so good with characters. So I want to hear you do it 2 times. First time, I want you to be a young guy like Philip, and then the second time, I want you to be an old dude like Frank.
Excuse me?
Oh my! Oh my! Oh boy!
Okay, that's how we're gonna play. Huh?
Oh, it's
Okay.
nice. I got left out of that. You're welcome, Frank.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations.
One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to that company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you'll make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Okay. You take a pause after one mistake that makes it sound unnatural. You go one mistake, pause, could both anger our customer, and it's and then we get into one mistake, and it's a little too much. Yes, finger pointing. It's too bossy. It's too bossy.
That's
Too bossy.
Yep.
I don't want to be bossy. I just want to do it. Okay.
Yeah. And when I say younger, maybe another word is more millennial. So
More
take
millennial.
that. You know that
Okay.
that I'm looking for. You know that casual. Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
Hey, man.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
bro.
if you're gonna do
give
a
it-
millennial,
Give us a bra read. Give us the bra read. Okay.
Also,
bro.
millennials uplift a lot.
Uplift.
Success in our company.
I'm
Dealing with money
talking.
involves a high level of responsibility. Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah. Don't upspeak, but be more casual. Give us
Okay.
more bra.
All right.
Yeah.
A little more of my surfer. Yeah. Hey, your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It's your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you'll make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Okay, dude. Welcome to Pot Paradise. I'm your boss.
Yeah, you did.
Let's over into my classic Keanu.
You sounded like you smoked a big doobie. Yeah.
You're hired, dude.
Maybe that's not the appropriate tone for this particular.
I don't know, man.
I don't know what.
You nailed it, brah.
I need to go get my hippie hair.
So,
You got to do it like young, but you got to do it like
but be smart. You're
okay.
like the young guy who has his degree, and this is like the second entrepreneurial venture you've started. You know, you're going to be listed on Forbes. You know,
top 30 under 30.
Top 30 under 30. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Frank. So you want to be a smart millennial, not a ding-dong millennial.
Well, that sounded like someone who just got promoted to trainer at Burgers R Us. Dude, I've been here like 3 months now.
I am
It
a
was
smart
gnarly.
millennial. I don't
Yeah,
eat
definitely
Tide Pods.
gnarly.
Your job.
Nathan, you are a smart millennial that pays $15 for avocado toast for breakfast every morning, and you tip another $10 because you can afford it.
Wow. I want to be.
Before I went and continued to fulfill my gym membership.
And I like avocado toast, Philip. Go ahead.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you'll make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I found that middle of the road.
You did. You sounded. I think you sounded like a smart millennial.
All right.
That actually
Okay,
sounded
now
like
you
I
got-
did.
now
You,
you gotta sound like an
sounded
old
almost
man.
as smart as Philip. Almost.
Ouch.
Well,
Now you got to do it. Now you got to do it sounding like an old guy. Like
I see. I did 25-year-old.
Hey, Richard, remember some TV shows we used to watch in black and white?
Remember Howdy Doody?
Remember when we had all the rabbit
Howdy
ears?
Doody was before my time.
Oh,
It was
gosh.
just slightly before mine. Unfortunately.
Remember Mr. Edge?
Pile.
I got to thinking of my dad talking about that. I remember watching Howdy Doody when I was a kid. Yeah, really?
I do
That's
remember
the Twilight
Gomer
Zone.
Pyle. I do remember Gomer Pyle.
USMC?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Andy.
Golly.
I remember him before he was Gomer Pyle when he was on Mayberry RFD.
That's right. That's what I remembered.
Oh, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the spinoff came from,
Yeah.
Right.
isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
mechanic in
He's
Mayberry.
like, oh, yeah,
At the gas
And then his
station.
cousin Goober
Goober's
took
cousin,
the
yeah.
job.
In the world.
Goober. Okay,
Now that one I watched live, unfortunately.
Oh.
good. It was a good show. Okay,
As long as we're
Now-
on the subject, Jim Neighbors
Yeah.
had an amazing voice.
He
I
did.
know.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
know.
We watched Gomer Pyle, and then I could remember watching. Remember how they'd have the commercials for the records,
Time
and
right.
he had this. Yes, Time Life music and the song collection. He's like, "Oh my papa," and he has this beautiful.
Exactly.
I'm like,
No
wow.
idea.
Yeah.
Suddenly he's like, where did that voice come?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I used to
when
watch
he
him on the
introduced
Sid Marty Croft stuff back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
He was on there was a
HR Puffin stuff.
thing.
Oh, I remember HR Puff and stuff.
It was-
HR Puffin stuff.
thing where he played an alien android, and it was really great because he was on there with Ruth Buzzy, and yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow. Okay, so Nathan, now you're an old dude.
I'm an old dude.
Like,
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing
No,
with money involves
Not
a high
Al
level-
Pacino.
Your job.
Your job plays
Your job.
success of a company.
Just when I think I'm out, they pull me
I
back.
gotta hear the
You know,
right thing.
you know, one mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company, and it may even cause a loss of the very breath in your body, if you understand what I'm saying.
See where I can go with
Lots of
it.
one
A little bit lower.
You're instead of millennial, now you're a boomer.
No,
Okay.
I'm a boomer.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm almost me. Okay.
all right.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
I think somewhere in the middle you scared them off.
Started drifting towards this Vincent Price thing there for a little while.
I was
think after
Loyal
you got-
to that company. No,
After
so
you got through about the third sentence, you were just talking to
was
yourself.
I
like
was just a little bit
really-
above my Jack Nicholson. I was doing Jack Nicholson impressions while I was warming up this evening. So I'm looking in the mirror, talking to myself like this. And so I was like trying not to slip over into that. Your job plays a key role in the success of our company.
okay.
Dealing
You were
with money.
you were a little
Intimidating.
too serious and scary.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you were very scary.
Yeah, little Vincent Price going on.
Just to,
Okay. So you're older, you know, and I know you actually dropped your voice down,
Yeah.
which makes you sound older. So I don't think you have to go beyond that as
okay.
far as
Just drop
expression.
my voice.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
fun comment.
I think you do the rest of the casual friendliness with your voice being dropped
Okay.
lower,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
And smile a little bit. I was same thing that we were saying before with John. I kind of looked over at you, and you had a furrowed brow through that whole thing, and you were just, oh, this is serious.
I started thinking of my dad
I am not a
when I
crook.
worked for
Okay,
him.
so it would be Nathan. Nathan, one mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. I'm going to smack you upside your head. If
How
you
Understand.
dare you
if
mess
you
up
make
those
one-
blueprints?
Yes, Dad.
Understand, if you make one single mistake, the world will implode.
That's
how it
usually
felt.
what it felt like working for Dad. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like your dad sitting with you explaining something when he's
Okay.
not angry. Okay. When he's not, he's just like, son, let me tell you about life. Not.
In my home, my dad was the serious one, and Mom was the flighty hippie. So, inherited more from my mother. so,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Perfect tone. You had a little bit in your pacings could be improved. Like you did that pause again after one mistake. But as far as sounding like the older, more authoritative guy, but still friendly, you nailed that perfectly.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I see where I'm doing that. On my piece of copy, there's a bit of a gap, and it's causing my eye to...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Take it one more time, just from this said, that last part, because again, you went, this said,
Right.
our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. You
Yes.
ran right through, you didn't honor the colon. So try it one more time, just from this said.
Okay. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Try it one more time quickly, sort of in the middle between those two. Now you-
And vary your bullet points.
yeah,
That
you
was a
just
nice
left a
pause.
little
Vary
too much
your
time.
bullet points.
Okay. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
Nice.
Yay.
Nice list.
Good set of directors in here tonight. Very good set of directors.
No.
Yeah, I'm glad she didn't ask me to read it older because it would be.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Your job plays a key role in the
Let's hear you do it older. Do it. Do the list. Do the list older, Richard. Come on.
Oh, the list.
Yeah.
Do it.
You know what? Okay, you'll love this, Frank. One of the members of the board of directors of the radio station where I work,
Okay.
the guy was 92 when I met him. He finally passed away when he was 101 or 103, something like that. Just
Good on him.
like I mean, he was just full of energy, and
Good
he
on
had
him.
a little weekend show that he still liked to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he would go, "We're on the air." And it was just, he was just so precious. But it was like, oh my gosh, this guy, it's like Methuselah. Okay, you're really old, dude. So,
Okay, we're going to be old, huh?
yeah,
Now,
so
this
you're,
said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, 4, oh, most importantly, cordial.
Nice.
Get a cordial.
that's awesome. Goldie, I want to hear you do one of your accents. Just do the last the last part with the list. Do one of your accents.
Okay, let me find the list and let me give me a second.
Okay.
Looking said, "Oh, I've said get ugly. Oh, she's like a bulldog and pissed off a stinger now." This said, our cashiers are. Hang on.
If you have to go back to a sentence earlier,
Okay.
that's okay.
Let me see if I can apply this one. My goodness, why is it not coming? Walking down the street the other day, this bloke came up to me and he said, "Your wife's so okay." And I was like, "Come on, open it up." This said, our cashier.
You can do your warm up into the microphone and we'll all hear you and it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You don't have to turn to the side and like go ahead.
Okay. Let me look at my sheet for that one. It's Word document over here, in fact. All right. I was totally thinking of doing something in this accent. Now I'm like, wait, where's the accent? Oh no! All right. I was walking down the street the other day, and this bloke came up to me, right? And he said, "Your wife's so keen ugly, you know. She's got a face like a bulldog who can piss off a stinging nettle."
Right on.
This side, our cashiers are expected to be at all times, 1, loyal to that company, 2, completely honest, 3, disciplined, and 4, cordial.
That's what, like East End London or something like that?
Yep.
Cockney.
Cockney.
Done.
That was
Nicely
his
done.
one.
It's Cockney.
Okay, now what are you going to give us, Sherry?
I don't know. Give me a P. What do you want?
Because
What do you want?
we already know you're New York Puerto Rican, so we know that one.
Okay, let's see.
You got to have something else in your
Can
repertoire.
you do a little boy?
I will try it. I'll try anything.
Do the Queen of England.
The Queen of England. Okay, let me see. You know what? I just X'd out the copy. Let me pull it back up, please. Okay. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1, loyal to that company. 2, completely honest. 3, disciplined. 4, cordial.
Oh, your Majesty, it's so nice to have you here at our banquet. I appreciate it so
Here,
much.
you know what? Here. My mother is a naturalized citizen, a U.S. naturalized citizen from the Philippines, and other people tell me she has an accent. I don't detect it at all, but it's probably because I grew up with her.
From the
But
Philippines?
Yes, but she has friends that it's like they just got here. They have they have never lost their accents. Still very good. So let me see. So your job plays a key role in the success of our company. Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point of sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. Don't do that. It is your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you have been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. This said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1, loyal to that company. 2, completely honest. 3, disciplined. And 4, cordial.
Yay!
Hey, that was great.
I don't know how authentic it is, but it didn't sound Midwestern.
That's pretty close. We have to. We have a Capital One that I do training for has a large call center in the Philippines, and we listen to calls every once in a while. No, that's pretty darn close.
Okay. So what else? What else?
Sounds familiar.
So let's see, Frank.
Yes.
Okay. So give me one of your. Let's see. Read it like a cowboy, Frank. Like a cowboy.
Your job plays a key role in the success of our company.
Dealing with money involves a high level of responsibility and personal accountability in our point-of-sale operations. One mistake could both anger our customer and cause a monetary loss to the company. It's your responsibility to completely and rigorously safeguard the currency you've been given, taking into account always the large number of transactions you will make at the point of sale. As said, our cashiers are expected to be at all times 1. Loyal to that company. 2. Completely honest. 3. Disciplined. And 4. Cordial.
It sounded like I was about to get on a ride at Dollywood.
Yeehaw!
I'm serious. I can just see this, cardboard sign with the speaker,
That was great.
I like that. It sounded like a Texan who he's been the owner of the company and he's going to tell you how it works. Because
Either that or it's the guy who's dishing up the beans off the chuck wagon. One of the.
I loved it. I thought that was awesome.
Anyways, it's 8:00 my time, guys. I got to get going.
Okay.
Yep.
Nighty night.
Everybody have a wonderful evening.
Have a wonderful evening. Hey, guys. It has been a great mic check, and as you can see, we have a lot of fun here. So if you haven't been here, come on down and join us, and it's going to be great. See you next week. Bye.